Super Duper Morning Show, where we have another guest joining us in the building.
Bringing the ruckus.
That's right, special guest, former MP, now new minister.
Oh, you gotta take it. You gotta take it for the former Band of the Year winner.
Oh,
former MP. No. Current Minister of VSA.
That's right, your Honorable Minister of VSA. We have Mr. Omar Ottley here with us. Good morning, Mr. Ottley.
Good morning, Super Rama. Everyone in the building, everyone listening from whatever medium, Facebook, radio. Shout out.
That's right.
Sir.
Good to have you here, my brother. And congratulations once again.
Thank you. Thank you.
For becoming a minister.
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
taking that step.
Yeah, man. It's we've been hearing through the grapevine. It's been going on for quite some time. You had some delays and everything, but everything
worked out. Everything in God's time.
Right.
God plan.
All right. So you've been minister for how long? Less than a month? I don't think
a couple of weeks.
Not even a couple of weeks. I went in on the 20th. I was sworn in.
All right. So 20.
Like
so
12
2 weeks.
Days or 2 weeks.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
The ink still wet. The ink still wet on the paper.
And within those 2 weeks, have you already seen a major difference from the two positions from minister to MP?
Yeah. From the time I went in, it was just work. It's something that I
Not
want.
saying as an MP didn't work, but
no, but it's more.
It's a different type.
It's a different type of work.
Right.
It's that continuous, like you're out in fires. You're fixed. You know, now you're executing because like MP are legislative. So now I'm actually executing. So it's a different type of a feeling, but I like it. You know, this is what I signed up for. If I do something, I do it 110%.
Okay.
And I'm only in like 10 days, 12 days, but I guess you guys been following the media. You would swear I'm in for like months.
Yeah. So being an MP is more like the theory, and now this is the practical.
Yeah, carrying it out. Everything
this is the job training.
Yeah, because when you're an MP, you basically state your requests that you would like to see from the government. But now I'm sitting in the government itself, you know, to carry out those requests.
Well, so far within the last 10, 20 days, 12 days, I should say, people are happy with what they're seeing so far. You know, I think Wednesday was your first press briefing.
Yes.
Yeah,
correct.
the first one press briefing, and people were like, wow.
No, last Wednesday was actually the second because I swore in on.
You swore in on a Wednesday.
Yeah,
the 20th
I think
was
it
a
was
Wednesday.
the second. This was the second press briefing. The
second
last
one.
Wednesday was the second one. Correct.
Oh, okay. And people were like, wow, okay, this is a breath of fresh air. I like where it's going. We could understand him. And no, anyways,
I ain't in that with you. I'm not in that one.
Your press briefings are short, to the point, and that's what people say. You know, this is what we like, this is what we need, and basically you're just bringing the ruckus to the ministry,
bringing it to the ministry. Yeah, look, the thing about it is like VSA is the people's ministry. It's public health, and what happened is you have those critiques that may say, oh, what do you know about health, you know, etc., but you forgot the social and labor part, you know. So once you put all these aspects together, I think then we'll see a benefit within the community. That's what I'm trying to do. I have a amazing department, the public health department, amazing SGs, amazing labor heads. You know, so far we are getting along well.
Tell bring the ruckus.
Yeah, this is the cupcake stage.
But one thing I told them, I said, look, don't expect us to agree on everything,
right?
You know, but the key to that will be communication. Let's communicate. Let me hear your reasoning and hear my reasoning for me taking the decision. At the end of the day, the ultimate decision is up to me.
The minister, right?
So let me take my decision. But I have full confidence in the staff, and we're just working in the best course that we can.
Now we saw your colleague Minister of Finance, Arthur Irian, recently said that, you know, that all ministers should be held accountable, especially past ministers should be held accountable for things that they did or did not do. You know, what do you have to say about that statement?
Well, then I would like to. The major part, he said, you should be held accountable if the right procedures was not followed. You know, that's what he said. So with that being, he's correct. He's correct. We have a procedure to follow.
Right.
We have you have ways of sometimes you may need to deviate, but there's ways of deviating that still stays
in accordance.
In accordance, right. You know. So I would agree with that, and it would keep everybody in line legally. I would say the first thing I did was strong legal representative, strong. So every decision,
we see it.
every decision, I have
to run it by
you have the department legal, you have a legal within the cabinet, and a legal consultant outside for major projects. So just trying to stay in line.
Okay. So what are some of the things that you're focused on right now with the Minister of VSA?
Besides Corona?
Yeah, besides Corona, you guys noticed that I just recently changed the pension date now. So you're actually getting it earlier. What happens was you're getting it on the 2nd or 3rd of the month. People think you're getting it late, but you were actually getting it early. It was an advance payment, so you're getting May 3rd for the rest of May. But it was creating an issue within the community because the pensioners, they work their whole life and they're accustomed of their money
on a specific
coming in a certain date. So in my first week, I got many complaints, and I would listen. So I spoke to SZV, and the thing is, the difference with me, I'm not just going to ask you something, I'm going to work on it as well. So I brought it by the legal team. They made a proposal. SZV fixed theirs. They did the right cross and checks. They checked their legal team. They checked with Curacao. They checked SYB, who audits you. And once everybody was in the correct and know that it could have been done, we said, okay, let's change the date. Another thing that we're working on, it was recently passed in COM. It's actually a home repair project. You guys would probably see the tender for the consultant. It's to repair homes for elderly, single mothers, etc. This is something that has been budgeted yearly. Previous ministers of VSA put it out before, so it was on the table. So this is something that me and my staff, the head of social development, we put together, and it was passed in COM to put out the consultant bidding. So that's something that we're working on as well. We're in the midst of the hurricane season, so we want to get these people homes repairs and so forth. One of my other focus is the labor department. We are now currently trying to see how we can create like an online portal that where persons can put their resume and it would link you to specific jobs that it fits. It would make it easier for us. So I'm working. I told Ms. Joss just how she liked to harass me, I'm going to harass her. So so let's go.
And we also saw the Gordon Law come into effect recently, which is something that a former Minister of VSA put into place, which I would say benefits the locals tremendously. Look, and I know that's something that you campaign a lot on during the whole election time.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up. Look, when Ms. Gordon was there, this policy came about. In Parliament, I had some questions, and of course, people play politics with everything. And why you need to ask questions? I am in the seat now. It's easy for us to make a policy, but we need to see if it's feasible, if it can actually work, if it can be carried out.
But it might sound good, but then when you now on paper it looks good, but when you execute it, so it causes more issues than
anything. So what we said is, okay, now we're going to, the NESC has implemented some measures to protect the local employment. So what we're going to do now, we're going to evaluate it. It's an evaluation. I as Minister of VSA, I'm going to evaluate it, and after 6 months we're going to do a full review of it, right? And determine what has worked and what have not worked. We want to include all stakeholders as well, so if it's something, hey, it might, so let's see if it benefits our country. But right now we're in the evaluation stages of it, and then we'll see what works, what doesn't work, what needs to be adjusted, what should come out, what should add in.
Which is pretty good, because most of the time you see, after government changes, sometimes projects just
go off the table, and then this is my project, this is what I want to do.
Go ahead.
So the fact that that you're continuing and considering it speaks a lot. That's pretty good. So
look, I'm like this. When I came in, I asked the department, I said, what do you have? What is some pressing issues that were pending that maybe other ministers didn't take the time to? I have my plans, but in the meantime, what do you have that we can adjust, that we can make up to time? What happens sometimes if I put out, execute a law. Persons might say, oh, that's me from 2014. And I say, okay, it can be you, but it took me 2021 to execute it.
Exactly.
Right. That's how I am.
Exactly.
You know, once it's in the benefit of the people of St.Maarten, I'm going to execute it. I'm going to discuss with my coalition, discuss with my team, and we're going to say, look, at the end, it's in the benefit of St.Maarten, let's execute it. Because my job is to execute.
Right.
That's all.
Now let's talk about the labor market back again. A lot of people have been complaining. It's been a while since we've seen the increase of the minimum wage. Is that something also that you're looking into? And
or that has been there, that was pending?
No, what happened is, look, it's something that I campaign on, but with the new regulations in the lands paquete that was placed on us, we see that there was no index. We cannot do indexation at this moment, and indexation is needed.
Right.
And and it's something. This is the reason I because of this, we really need to now review our labor laws and ensure maximum employment that we can. You know, because I look for solutions. If I can't at the moment raise your pay, I then at least need to make sure I give as much people jobs that we can, or opportunities. Let me say opportunities that we can, you know. And at the end of the day, I would like to tell the local population, you know, it's okay to apply, because one thing that we realize, for some reason, our local people are not applying for the jobs. Right. You know, so maybe that's something I'll sit with the labor department and see why, but they're not applying. And then where, you know, you have to, like the lottery, you got to be in it to win it. Right. You know, so I don't know. That's a study that we have to carry out. But I would like to encourage all persons. Look, there's ads. When there's government ads, private ads, apply. If you apply, then we can defend you. What is happening too much is that persons are not applying.
Exactly.
And then
complaining that I ain't got no job.
And then complaining that the locals don't have no jobs, but you're not applying. You're not helping yourself.
And what I tell people to do, you know, if you see a job opportunity, apply. Even if you don't
have the credentials,
all the credentials or the requirements, still apply, because whatever you do have, they might see, oh, you know what, this might be person might fit into here, or somebody might be leaving in the next 2 months. We might need this person to take over after. So just apply.
Correct. And then I would like to encourage everyone to register. Those that are unemployed, register with the labor office. Register. Because same thing like Super just said. When the ads come out, right? Especially now, it's going to be more stringent. When the ads come out, we need to be able to match you.
Right.
You know. So if I ask for a radio host, if I go in my computer and Super don't apply or Rama don't apply, I cannot match you, because then you don't exist in my system. So I encourage. So I think now we're gonna take a step back and try to educate the people on the benefits and importance of applying and then registering yourself at the government office. And then I think the most important part too is to have the people restore faith in the government, because I know a lot of people listening now say, yeah, but we're gonna apply for anyway. So I think we need to have them restore faith within the government first.
Right. Now we saw the situation that that was basically, I guess you could say, cleared up for now. The situation when it comes to
it was dropped on you.
Yeah, with the pharmacies and, you know, SZV and everything, and you went in, you guys had a meeting, and it seems like things for now
it's okay,
has been resolved.
Yeah, for now. What happened was basically I swore in on the 21st, the letter came in on the 23rd, and I'm like, okay, next week we're gonna deal with this. So when I reached out, I said, look, let's have a meeting. I'm not just gonna pay you
and not
understand the problem, because then if we just pay you, then we have no solution. The next month you're gonna threaten me again. You know. So what I did, I invited all stakeholders, SZV, my cabinet, and the pharmacies, and we basically created a little structure, a temporary structure that now everyone knows because what happened, SZV saying we're in the right, pharmacies are saying we're in the right, and then when you hear the discussion, you realize that what is happening is that there's a timeline to be paid, but some pharmacies are paying on the 3rd, no, sending in the invoice on the 3rd, and some are sending it in at the end of the month. So now you have no structure on when to pay. You send on the 3rd, I'm going to pay you before you who pay the month end. So now I said, look, we're not going to leave here until we have a temporary structure. You know, we stayed there for like 3 hours, and we put a temporary structure together in which I signed, SFA signed, and the head of the pass signed.
Right.
So with that being in place now, we have a better relationship, a better understanding. I had a meeting separate, a different issue with the head of the pass, right, the Pharmacy Association, pertaining to vaccines and so forth. So the relationship now is built. I received I would say a appreciated email from them at the end of the meeting. They said, you know, this was the first time they got such a quick response. This was the first time they put a structure in place, and he said that he can definitely vouch for me as a man, and he can see that I'm a man of action, and they really appreciate the course of action that was taken. So
because when I saw that happen, I was wondering, okay, this is interesting, because not to throw anybody under the bus, but I was like, is it so easy to get things done, or were people actually just not doing what
that's a question that Super had, you know. He say he wants to know, like, seeing you being in the seat now and how easy that was to accomplish being a week in, so to speak. Are things that easy to do, or is it just that they were putting it off? Or I
won't say it's that easy. What happens, I have to commend the staff of SZV, because it was really... When I met Glenn, we have the same thing in common. I told him, don't tell me, no, tell me how it can get done. He said the same thing. So when this came about, he said, Minister, I know you don't want to hear no. We're going to find a way to get it done. I said, okay, find a way. I'm going to set up the meeting, and then when the meeting, we're going to create a structure, and they found a way. But the thing about it is, right, look, and I want the public to know, life. It was not that because this came out. The payment, right, was actually en route to be paid the next week, the Monday. Right. It was actually en route. So what happened is, if they had just
wait a little
emailed me personally, call Glenn, they would have known that, hey, this payment was en route.
Coming, right.
So then we wouldn't have needed, you know, but everything is for...
It wouldn't have looked as if government wasn't paying.
It wouldn't look that bad.
So then when we sat in the meeting, actually, I was like, did you guys check your accounts? I think one person said, yeah, we checked it, we are paid. So half of them didn't even know that they were paid at that moment. But the problem was, why I'm glad that it happened, is that we were able to create a structure. Because before there was no structure, so this was going to happen again eventually.
Eventually, right. Okay. What about, because we are in the month of May, and May is Mental Health Awareness Month. What are some of your thoughts when it comes to mental health, especially here on the island, where we've seen recently, you know,
some little outbreaks?
Yeah. Well, this is perfect that you asked. Yesterday I had a meeting with the Justice Minister as well, and some representative of Turning Point and so forth. We are now putting a structure together. There was actually one in place, right, and which I spoke to Ms. Dross yesterday. I'm waiting on my SG Joy and L to return. Once they return, we're gonna sit and then see what we can amend to push this issue. I'm seeing an increase, me personally, of
cases.
You know, and now sitting on the seat, I'm seeing it firsthand. And something that was said in the meeting yesterday, it says 1/3 of the persons that have COVID now have
a mental
issue.
Wow.
So now it's actually linked with health. That was said in the meeting by the representatives. So I think that it's a priority. I gave the Minister of Justice my word that I would take the lead on it, and we just need their support. And another thing that I have a meeting next week with the Mental Health Foundation, but I need to dissect this mental health foundation situation, and build it back stronger, see what's the issues, see what's going on, because it's a reoccurring situation in St.Maarten, and it's very sad.
Go ahead, Rama.
Oh no, continue. Start first.
I was gonna say, because when it comes to like our mental facilities, you know, it definitely needs to be upgraded. We need bigger facilities. We need more rooms for patients. Also, the Turning Point as well.
An upgrade is needed everywhere.
Yeah, basically.
What was said too, what we need to consider, like at times there are persons who are a danger to themselves and others, and then there are persons who can cope.
Right.
You know, basically I can go to work, come back, I have my issues. So we need to now take that in consideration, where we would need a facility where these persons can go, come and get their treatment, have their discussions, have their appointments, but yet it still leaves room for those that
really need it.
Because right now there's no separation as to, like, when I say for capacity.
Yeah.
You know? So I think that is very important. That was brought up yesterday in the meeting. So it has my full attention. It has my full attention, and we, like I said, if something is there, if it's beneficial to St. Maarten, I take it. Of course, modernize it, because it might be there years, and then we make the best out of it.
And like you mentioned, you know, you've been talking with the Minister of Justice on this, because I think it's a collaborative effort, because other persons might not know also, based on the legal side of this as well. They could see someone, let's say, going through a mental situation, and they think, okay, I'm just gonna, why doesn't the police go and just pick them up? Or why doesn't this? And by law, it's not allowed.
No. Yeah. And then, like, even some persons, look, if I bring you to an institution, I can't, unless I have a court order, I cannot keep you there. Say, I'm good, I want to leave. That's why we see persons reoccurring, because they be like, I'm good, and I have to let you go.
All right, now let's talk about the Drive to 85.
Yes, sir.
A new project that was announced this week.
Yes.
And you collaborated with some young local artists.
Yes, correct.
On this project. So what is the Drive to 85 all about?
Okay, well, basically, in order for us to reach herd immunity, they're saying we need to vaccinate 85% of our total population. 75% of your adult, but 85% of your total population. So I said, let's go for the better number, 85. You can never be too safe. One thing we don't want to play with is the health of our people in our community.
Right.
So the Drive to 85 was to create a new feel, a new aspect of the vaccination drive. At the moment, we're at 22%. So we need all hands on deck, everyone that is involved, to get us to 85%. The only way by doing this is to realize that we are all stakeholders. So what may not affect you may affect your parents, may affect this one, that one, your loved ones, your daughter, you know. So we need to get everyone involved. I wanted a new approach, and I wanted some influential faces. I would like to thank also Michael Ferrier. He did a commercial for it as well. And I would like to thank Rama, King James, King Kimbe, Uncle Brassy, Alston, Elvis, and many others that are involved with this project. I think that it'll be a good look. And speaking of vaccinations, I want to tell everyone that tomorrow the pop-up is at the Methodist Church in Belvedere. So we're doing a pop-up vaccination, and I want everyone to come out. If you need transportation, you can also contact CPS, and then they would provide the transportation to take you to get vaccinated.
Right. All right. So how often will you update the meter? Because I know May 5th was the last time, so it's 22% right now. So is it going to be done on a weekly basis?
Yes, correct. We're going to do weekly basis. So basically on press briefing, I'm going to notify the public on the current change that we have. And you see, even the pop-ups, right? And I would like to commend CPS. They're doing a great job, and that's some of the things that were in the pipeline before I was there. However, they were meeting resistance, you know. So I think I came in at the right time. Ava is amazing. I just tell her, look, I got your back. Let's do it. Don't you know. And I had a meeting with the State Secretary Blockhuis from Netherlands, and I told him, statistics and culture is different. So CPS wanted to do the driving to allow people to walk in and so forth, the pop-ups, and they were meeting resistance. But now when they saw the success of it, if you notice, Bel Air itself now allow walk-ins. So what I think, we have to start coming to the community, you know, and thinking different, thinking down to earth. Let's go to the community. Let's go to Belvedere. Let's go to Colby, St. Peter's, and that's what we're going to do. We're going to come to
Instead
you.
Of they come to you, you go to them.
You know, we had a very good registration drive, very good, but at the moment you see registrations are slowing down. You know, and again, on the radio, I would like to say, those persons that are undocumented, you can be vaccinated because you are a part of our community at the moment. Once you are here for 4 months or more, you can be vaccinated, you will not be targeted. So we need everyone to get that message out, and let's get our people vaccinated.
That's right. Okay. So the drive to 85. And when do you have a target date to get to that 85%?
Yes.
I know before it was June 1st.
Yeah. Right, the start of hurricane season.
Yeah, but that's like 3 weeks away from now.
Yeah. Right now we're pushing it to August 1st.
Okay.
We're August 1st, so we're on major go mode. And look, like I tell everyone, if you want us to get back to some type of normalcy, I see a lot of the clubs are pushing it. They changed the name to Drive to 4 a.m.
Yeah.
Now they tell the workers and the revelers and everyone, listen, if you want us to be able to go to 4 a.m., let's get to 85. I told persons, if you want us to go to have carnival, you know what I mean? Let's get to 85 because I need to protect the people of St.Maarten before we can have these major events.
So, and then you also want people from the outside that are coming to St.Maarten to feel safe as well.
Yes, correct. You know, and look at a prime example is what's happening in Curacao, the ABC Islands, and at the moment we need to shut off to them. We don't want to. Many of us have loved ones over there, but we need to because we do not have herd immunity as yet. And the last thing we want is a major outbreak as such. So in order
thing with the pharmacy, and now you go into every other issue that you have, all your plans and everything like that. You were an MP. Everybody knows an MP's job is more secure than a minister's job.
Correct.
Knowing that safe net, that security, what still enticed you or made you say, I still want to be a minister?
Good question.
That's a good question. The people, it's work to be done. I think that no one can doubt thus far that I am a worker, that I have ethics, and I'm going to continue to push. I'm not going to promise to fix everything one time, but I cannot live in fear of government falling. I was not always an MP.
True.
You know? And to be honest, Rama, if anyone throws down the government at this time, they have to answer to the people of St.Maarten.
And to you. You bring the ruckus.
Because, but I think it has been proven that those that do that has been punished. They don't get back in. I think the people are fed up. You know? And I tell my coalition boldly, after this, we have no more excuses. We are the two biggest parties. This is what St.Maarten wanted. Let's keep it together. Let's give it 4 years, and you will see how the people will come out in abundance.
True.
But other than that, I cannot live in fear of government falling. As a matter of fact, because of that, I need to work
even
every day like it could be a last, right?
True.
So it gives me a boost.
Okay. Absolutely. Minister of VSA Ottley is here with us, Omar Ottley, and talking to things, bringing the ruckus, letting the people know what's going on within the ministry. What about the 6 months contract? That's also another issue a lot of people have been talking about.
Yes, indeed. What is happening is that there was amendment to the law sent to Parliament. It moved the amount, I think, from 4 months to 3 months. Then you would hire the person permanent. But again, sitting in my meeting last week with policy, I said, even if you move it to 2 months, they will still use the same loophole and send you home. So I requested all ideas to be given to me. We have bi-weekly meetings. So by the end of the bi-weekly meeting, all ideas are to be given. And then we would now go into how can we stop this loophole of letting the person off for 3 months and bringing them back. You know, because I see that as the biggest problem. And we could get praise and say, yes, let's move it to 2 months. I want to move it to 2 months. But they're going to do the same thing after the first month and send you home. So I identify the problem. Now I have policy working on legal ways that we can patch the hole and move from there.
All right.
But now even like, let's say for example, even if they avoid the loophole, if you amend it and you make it that there's no gray area, you still have it where now you are quote unquote trapping employers, because in the intake interview you might seem good, but in the first 2-3 weeks into your contract, you know, it's like I don't like your work ethic, you know, but I'm stuck in this contract now and I can't do anything.
No, what is happening now, what we would have to do now is adjust both. You would have to make the employers more flexible, right, and protect the employee at the same time. Because coming from the private sector, being an employer myself, I know very well what you are talking about. So people can come for the first couple of weeks and be exceptional, and then after they start to slack up. So that's why I say it's very important. You see, look, I don't come to play the politics. So I can sit here and say, yes, we're going to do this, we're going to do that, just to get the people riled up. But then the reality of it is where we need to involve all stakeholders before making a decision. So that's why I have all policy heads on board. We're going to come with a solution that does not stifle anyone. And then we can move from there.
Okay. All right. What about let's say insurance, like a general insurance for people? Because most of the time, right now, you have the SZV, and but that falls into a different criteria. Or you could get a private insurance. Maybe some people might not be able to afford it. Is there something that you're working at that's just a general health insurance?
It's not. I won't say something like I'm working at. It was I had a presentation when I got in, given to me. I requested a presentation from my public health, the head of public health, which was sent to me. I then now sent it to my legals, my staff, and now we're in the process of dissecting it to see something. Like I said, everything could sound good, but then
you have to make sure.
So with all honesty, the presentation was given to me. It was sent to me, and then right now it's in the hands of my legals to see what is beneficial and what was not, because I think the presentation also, this is St.Maarten, one of the things that was given to me, the presentation was from 2015 or something like that.
A lot of things have changed since then. So now we need to adjust and see what would fit and what would not fit, or the situation is different. What could have worked then may not work now. So that's my part. I'm not going into it to just do for doing sake. When we do, let's do it correct. And how do things work at the hospital? Because sometimes you hear cases that a person went to the hospital but wasn't insured, and they say I can't prove it, but some people say I was not attended to, or
they don't even pay me no mind
because I didn't have insurance. Is there anything
if it's an emergency, I should think the hospital should handle the case. I never heard it, and if it's so, then I would like to know personally. I would like to know, because I had a meeting with the hospital.
You a man of meetings?
Last week. But that meeting was to deal with the operational, see what's going on with their new facilities they're adding on. And after here, I have another meeting with the hospital board.
What time you gotta go? Because it's 10 o'clock now.
With the hospital board to see now all of these type of questions that you are asking. You know, there are many persons. Speaking of that, there are many persons. We're making I see a big media blitz about the Australian director.
All right,
right, and our own this and our own that. Look, nothing came to the minister of VSA. Nothing came to come. The guy is a candidate.
So he applied like everybody else.
He applied, not like everybody else. He was the only one to apply. Right?
But did others know about the position?
But that's now where I'm going to have this meeting
to find out,
to see
to get to the bottom of it.
And outs of this situation. But however, he's not the director of the hospital. The medical director of the hospital up to this moment is Dr. Felix Holiday.
Mr. Holiday.
Okay? And that's even a conversation that I would have to have as well to see why or if Mr. Felix Holiday was involved in this process. But we have to find out. I'm not going to speak on something that is not. But one thing I can speak on is the guy is not the director.
Okay.
He's a candidate.
Okay. And he's the only one
that... He was here recently, but he was here based on my information given to me at the medical center in my walkthrough, operational walkthrough. He was here on the evaluation. Okay. So nothing came to Minister Ottley's desk.
All right. So there you go.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Minister Ottley, thank you very, very much for joining us today. I know you're very busy. You got some meetings. I don't know how you do all these meetings and execute and still find time for the gym. Every morning he'd update us, you know, with his walk and his run and everything.
You gotta lead by example, you know. Minister of Health, you know.
True. So I definitely will not be that minister for sure. But either way, we appreciate you for coming coming through enough.
First interview, first radio interview.
Yes, keep up the great work.
Thank you guys for having me, man, and I look forward to you guys continue to push to the public, and continue to, let's get our population vaccinated.
That's right. Drive to 85.
Drive to 85.
But does that also involve the friend side? Because we could have 85 on the dot side, but now the friend side still is a situation. Because technically, then we're not at 85.
What happened is, I'm glad. Persons will now see. Super, you're the best.
Thank you.
Persons
get
will
rid
now.
of Lyndon. Put me in there.
Lyndon. So persons will now see a change in the vaccination chart. Before there was 34,000.
Yeah, I saw that this morning. 50 something.
50. Because what is happening is that if you do 34,000, you take 85%. That's a representation of 40,000.
Yeah.
We all know that St.Maarten is about 60, so we're using 66,000 as our dot side population.
Okay.
We're using 66. So from the 66,000, 85% of that is 56,100. So we need to get to that number in order for us to say we have herd immunity.
And have you been in contact with the friend side to see how?
Yes, we're friend side. I must say St.Maarten has a very good vaccine rollout. Friendside even did an article on how good ours is. The numbers are way lower. So we're trying to see how to incorporate an island-wide vaccination. However, the 85% is based on that side. Because I don't want to keep moving the goalpost and our people lose hope or focus. So this 85 is pertaining to our population. We're doing it based on 66. However, we are going to collaborate with the friend side to see how we can push their efforts, because it's one island, one destiny.
I mean, if we could do a unity jump up, we could do a unity vaccination.
Unity vaccination. So all the artists on the friend side, I see I have skeleton book right here. So all the artists, everyone, every influential person, reach out. Let's make this a big event. I don't want to say event, but a big cause. And let's vaccinate the island, the country.
Yes, sir.
All right. Thank you very much again, Minister, for joining us, and keep up the great work. And if anyone wants to get in contact with you, they can do so by
you can email me at omar.ottley@stmaartengov.org.
Okay.
Or you can contact Johnny. Just go to government building, ask for Johnny.
Ask for John.
Ministry. Yeah, John. In the Ministry of VSA, Jonathan Richardson.
All right.
But I just say Johnny because many know who he is. That's the man.
All right. Let's take a quick break. When we come back, we could squeeze in birthdays, I think, and then we're going to wrap it up. So don't you go anywhere. It's Laser 101.
What you